Alright, today folks, we have a Whirlpool French door refrigerator. This is a 30-inch. Most are 36 or 33, but this one is 30 inches wide. So it's having cooling problems. It's cooling well in the freezer, but not so much in the fresh food section. So we're going to get down here and check out our evaporator. If you're having a cooling problem and the fans are working, you want to take a look at that evaporator and see what it looks like. So we are going to take this freezer apart. This one is tough to get to. You got to get that, there's a screw and a tab on each one of those slides. But the first thing you got to do is pull that drawer forward and get it over those little keepers. This thing is not easy to get apart, so you guys are going to have to, not give up. But anyways, once you get that drawer out of the way, but it's still in your way, then you want to get these screws out, which you won't be able to see this first one just because of the angle. I can't get a good view on it, but this next one here you'll be able to see me get it out. And there it is. There's one on each side, and they are not easy to get out, so good luck. But once you get those out, you can push those tabs in. You saw me push that first one in, and you should see me do this. No, I've already done it. Never mind. No, wait. No, here it goes. Alright, yeah, pushing that second tab in, and then you just give it some oomph, and eventually you'll be able to get this whole drawer assembly out of the way. But yeah, it's a small area to work in, so it's not very easy to do. But if you can get those screws out and everything, and that drawer out, it's not too bad from there. But next you want to get out these slides. Just 2 screws on each side. Things just pop off like that. Then you want to get that Icemaker out of the way. That is next on the list. Alright, Icemaker's off. Now we're going to work on this cover. And then we're going to take off this evaporator cover. 4 screws holding it in place. 2 on the right, 2 on the left. And when you're pulling this thing off, you have that sensor on the right hand side that will prevent it. But you can tweak it a little bit to, get it all the way off. And you can see it's blocking it on the right hand side. But yeah, just tweak it a bit and it comes off. But this is what we see. This is your evaporator. And you see how it's actually in defrost right now. And this thing's not staying in defrost long enough. So it only defrosts half of the evaporator. So we are going to look at this defrost sensor. You want it to read 2.7k ohms. And whenever we read it, oh yeah, and this is at room temperature by the way, we're reading it at 1.2, 1.3. And that's more like 90 degrees. So it thinks it's 90 degrees when it's supposed to be around 70. So what happens is this thing turns off defrost too early when it's supposed to be in defrost a little bit longer. So remember, you want it to be around 2.7k ohms, and we're getting 1.3, 1.25k ohms. But once you figure out that's what it is, you get yourself a new sensor, you put it back on the place where it was, and you just put it in. I will have that part linked in the description below, so if you have this 30-inch, it's specific to this model, so make sure this is the same model that you have. But after you put that in, we can put this evaporator panel back on, and you want to get that grounding clip back on where you took it off. And don't forget about the wire harness for the Icemaker. You want to put that back through the hole too. But once you get that into place, you got those 4 screws you want to put back on. Then we're going to work on that fan cover. And you want to start it at the top, pushing its hole. Get those clips back in, and then the 2 screws. Move it on to the Icemaker. We're going to hook that harness back up, and I put those screws back in so you can just hang it on those screws there just like that, and then you just tighten them up and put that screw in the bottom back in. Alright, now we're putting these slides back in. There's only, well, they're side specific. One goes on the left side only, and the other one goes on the right side only. You want the teeth to be pointed up on the bottom, just like you see here. But again, just 2 screws. And after those things are on, we're going to get this drawer back in. You want to push those slides out and then slide those into where they go. And just start pushing. And then you can push it in a little bit more on both sides. Now I'm just showing you the gears, and you do want them to go in at the same time. If they're geared wrong, you'll have an opening on the left hand side or the right hand side, but you want to lift up that top drawer to get it over that piece that prevents it from coming out all the way. But again, whenever you guys push this door in for the first time, you want those gears to match. If it's off, it won't close properly on the left hand side or the right hand side. And you see me now, I'm checking out the gaskets. They're sealing good, so I got it right the first time, and that doesn't always happen. So whenever you're putting this thing back together, make sure those doors seal properly. If they don't, you'll cause more problems, and you'll see a layer of ice and everything. But that's pretty much it for this repair, guys. I do appreciate y'all watching, so if this helps, give me a like and subscribe.